Right now, we are getting a new report on how heroin use is changing.
The CDC just released a report finding the drug is killing more and more people right here in the Midwest. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell is live with more on what this report says. So, Kim, how is heroin use changing?
What you really need to know is that it is becoming more and more deadly. In 2010, about 3,000 people died of a heroin overdose. Last year, that number jumped to 8,257. The CDC, for this study, it took a close look at death certificates connected to drug overdoses. We've seen a trend here in Metro Detroit, more and more deaths. The CDC report says the people who die from heroin-related overdoses in the U.S. now tend to be young, white, and live in the Midwest. That's a shift from 15 years ago when the death rate was highest among older blacks, and the West and Northeast had the biggest heroin problems. While the demographics of heroin may be changing, the drug does not discriminate. Heroin-related deaths increased in both men and women, in all age groups, and in whites, blacks, and Hispanics. Detroit's police chief says police everywhere have noticed, and his department is taking action.
I think the entire region, we have seen an uptick in heroin use. Heroin's cheap. Cocaine was king at one point, so it's a cost factor.
The chief says since he took office, his department has seized more than $4.5 million in narcotics, and a good chunk of that is heroin, and they will continue to do that. Reporting live, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Well, Kim, we just heard the chief talk about the cost being a factor, but did the study look at why heroin deaths are increasing?
The study did not take a look at why heroin deaths are increasing. It didn't take a look at whether the formula for heroin is changing, but a lot of people say it's in part because of restrictions on prescription drugs, which also are quite deadly.
All right, Kim, thank you so much for that live report.